Okay, welcome to this episode. We are on chapter 4, and I am going to skip a few pages from 4-1, and but I highly recommend you read 4-1, 4-2, and look over 4-3. Let's talk about 4-3 real quick. 4-3 is a sketch of the first floor plan and south elevation. So, important note about sketches. Architects sketch their floor plans and ideas before they actually go and draft them out in AutoCAD. This is a habit I hope you would attain and maintain throughout your educational and professional career. 4-4 is also an example of a sketch of the basement and a second floor plan with a little bit of a roof plan. So let's get started. On page 4-5, we are looking into opening up the floor plan B drawing. So go to in sheet sets down here, architectural imperial template, and we are starting a completely new drawing called floor plan B. So I'm going to go ahead and save this, Control Shift S, and let's label this correctly. So floor plan, or just floor B. And let's go ahead and hit save. We are in paper space. Let's switch over to model space. Now, the textbook asks you to set the drawing limits, and that limits the amount of area, working space area, to the dimensions that it is given. I'd advise you to skip that. And so I'm going to skip that. I don't like to be limited. Don't tell me what to do. No, I'm just playing. The reason why I don't like limits is because it's exactly what it says it does. It limits you to that space. And when you go to do something and it's not working, and I don't know. You're welcome to try it out. If you like it, great. I just like knowing that I have a vast area to work with. And so, and maybe it's helpful for some, but doing what I do every day, we never use limits. It's just something that we feel that gets in the way because we do reiteration after reiteration of a floor plan until it actually works. So I want to say on average, we come up with 5 to 10 different versions of a floor plan until we find one that works perfectly with the client. And the first 5 are different options. Second 5 could be changes from the client, and so and I might be exaggerating a little. I think my last client, we had 3 iterations, and that was it. And some of these reiterations are because of client needs and wants, or some of these reiterations are variations of a particular floor plan for a client. Could be we need to accommodate changes for zoning and building codes, and so and that's why we sketch. We always sketch. We don't go straight to drafting. All right. So first thing to do on page 4-6, it says we need to create a layer. So we know how to create a layer. Go to layer properties, and right here, create a layer, and we call this a-wall. Dash wall. And the color is white. Line type is continuous. So we have that. Good to go. Let's make that our current layer. So I went ahead and clicked right here to set this as our current layer. Close out of that. And it looks like we are going to, it's giving us an option to turn on ortho or polar tracking. I can tell you firsthand that ortho is the way to go for drawing floor plans. And so I'm going to go ahead and make sure my ortho is on. Control L. Ortho is on. And there you go. So this is polar tracking. This is ortho. It's really up to you. I know ortho limits the amount of, or reduces the amount of error that could occur when you are drafting floor plans. And so go ahead and take a look at page 4-7 at the floor plan. And this is the foundation perimeter basement floor plan. So the black dot in the middle represents the origin. And let's go ahead and get started on this. And we're going to offset this 8 inches. So I'll go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how I do it. So line, and we'll start at the origin. Why not? Book says to start over there. Now we need to go over 32 feet. Escape, zoom, extents. There we go. Line. Now we need to go down 15.4. And we need to go over this way 1'4". That is also 16 inches. Down 13.4. Go over 16 inches. And 15.4. And 9 feet. And it looks like we need to come down 3 feet. Oops, undo. 36 inches is 3 feet. We need to go over 6 feet. Back up 3 feet. And so you can see how I'm using a combination of entering conversions and just entering the numbers as is. So I need to go over 33 feet, come back down 8 feet, and then go over. And you notice how I'm guiding my mouse as I type. And then this is why I'm going so quickly. I'm looking at the numbers as I go, and before I hit enter, I'm looking at the next number. And then this is 44, and this should close automatically. Spacebar, done. And there we go. Page 4-7 is complete, and we can offset this 8 inches towards the center. And so let's go do this. Let me zoom in a little bit. So zoom, extents, offset, specify 8 inches, and just go all the way around. And we're going to clean up this line work. And I like to use my zoom to make sure it's easier for me to grab these lines and offset them. And don't worry about the gaps. The next command we're going to go and use is the fillet or fillet. I don't know. Just reminds me of fillet. All right, fillet. F. And we're going to use 0 radius, because what we want to do is, check this out, boom, boom. We want to make these corners, so we're cleaning up these lines. And this is a very useful command. So right now I'm pressing, let me start over. So fillet, make sure it's on 0, spacebar. So fillet, spacebar, 0, spacebar, and here we go, bam. Now that I know that my previous command was fillet, spacebar again. And this is how I go quick. Just hit that space. I don't need to type that command until I'm, done. I could just keep going. Now I'm selecting this line and this line. I want to make a corner. This line and this line to make that corner. Right? It's almost like a trim command and an extend command all in one when you're using the 0 radius. And check it out. We got part of a floor plan. And that is the fillet command. Oh, we were supposed to use extend and end as well. And trim. And that's okay. We could have used trim. Let's back this up a little bit. Oops. Okay, let's back this up a little bit. We could use trim right here. So this is where we could use trim. And the book wants you to practice that. Obviously, I showed you a much quicker way how to do that. And remember these gaps. Oh man. Well, here's how you use extend, EX. Select the line you want to extend to here. I'm going to do that here so I can recreate what was once there. So instead of using the fillet, I could have extended, this line to here for practice, and then extend. So I hit the space bar, extend, and then trim. To me that was too many extra steps. But you can see how you can use it, and that's kind of what I think the book wants to show you. So I use fillet. And to me it makes a much easier way to do that. So it looks like we are going to extend this wall all the way up. And so now we'll go ahead and use the extend command. So EX, so we're going to extend here, spacebar here, here, and then use trim. I hit the spacebar twice, so I can just clean that up. And clean that up. Because walls should be continuous. All right. Let's see what else we're doing. Okay, yep. Tell me to clean that up. And it looks like we are extending this as well. You can use the fillet command. And trim. And that's on page 4-13. Right. So on page 4-15, we're doing a few more things, drawing a few more walls, and it looks like we are going to offset 3 feet 5.5 inches from here. So offset 3 feet 5.5 inches, enter, and I'm assuming that wall is 4.5 inches because it says so on page 4-15. So offset 4.5 here. And now what I can do is offset this line right here 13.5 inches. So 13, or not 13.5 inches, 13.5 feet. So 13.5 feet. There we go. Trim. Hit the space bar twice. Made that wall. And let's clean this up right here. Don't forget to clean up your work right here. This is a garage. And some of you might be wondering why this is 8 inches from the garage to the house, and the house has 4.5 inch walls. That's pretty typical. Typically, your garage will have gas lines in here for your water heater and your washer and dryer, and that's pretty typical. And so the thickness of this wall is for fire resistance. You don't want a gas line here, and stuff goes off right here. You want to be able to protect the inhabitants long enough for them to safely get out before that. And so this is a fire rated wall that goes all the way from the foundation to the roof. And anyway, that's a little on that. And so we have right here, this goes out 2 inches. And let's offset this 4.5 inches. Escape. Deleted everything, my bad. 16. 2. Offset 4.5. And we are going down here 7 feet 1 inch. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about something and why I'm doing this the way I'm doing it. 8 feet 9 inches. There we go. So I did this line first because I knew we were basing this wall off of this line right here. And I could offset that. And now I have the outside of these 3 walls. And now I can offset this 4.5 inches here and here. And now what I could do is, well, I need to make a line here and here. And then I could use the fillet radius 0. Oop, what happened here? Fillet radius 0. 0. There we go. And there you go. We clean that up. We need to trim this. Or we could fillet. I don't know why the book shows that it's still not cleaned up on page 4-15, but it should be cleaned up. All right. And so now that was the that is done. All right, so that's it for part one. We'll go ahead and make a part two.